So now we have the political sub-project in motion, and the propaganda machine is cranking away, as we discussed in the previous videos in this series. But what about the infrastructure of the Antichrist kingdom? The construction of the third temple? The industry needed to deliver the mark of the beast at massive scale to all humans in every country. These efforts require massive industry on a scale much larger than the pyramids of Egypt. Project planning and management are essential in achieving success in the partnership between man and the spiritual kingdom of Satan. The Industrial Revolution of the late 1800s kicked off the timeline for this sub-project. All of the modern machinery we see today evolved out of this era. I discussed before how it's more than a coincidence that trains, cars, airplanes, radio, television, etc. came only a few decades after the French and American revolutions ushered in the so-called modern age. This is during the same time that influential personalities began to convince people that there are no angels or demons, that only humans achieved the great technological feats of the late 1800s. However, the secret societies at the time harnessed the power of demons using sorcery, among other dark arts, to achieve this. They needed the people to be ignorant of the spirit realm so that the masses could not tap into this very power. This is how the secret society Children of Satan, aka Mystery Babylon the Great, could maintain an upper hand over the masses and their beastly governments with their technological prowess. The political sub-project we discussed in a prior video needed to decimate the Christian and other religious-based monarchies to lay the foundation for the New World Order Antichrist kingdom. Once that was achieved, that's when Satan felt it was time to expose his human children to much more of the technology in the earth. This technology provoked awe and wonder in the masses, to the point now where most worship and admire those who brought forth such cutting-edge creations like planes, cars, trains, skyscrapers, and so much more. Once that got established in the 1800s, though, Satan needed to reveal larger-scale industrial technology to his human children in order to accelerate the goals of his kingdom in the 1900s. So no, there was no racial or ethnic group that gets credit for the industrial technology of that era. The knowledge came from demons, which is why it didn't come thousands of years earlier. Satan knew he didn't have the right conditions then to unleash this industrial sub-project. I did a video on the topic of the increase in knowledge in the 1800s. Check it out if you haven't done so already. Industrial processes are needed on several fronts to enforce the beast kingdom. On the biomedical front, drug companies need the ability to deliver DNA editing drugs to hundreds of millions of people. The project teams for this alone requires thousands of workers of various skills. The first big test was that 1918 so-called Spanish flu crisis. On the banking front, a national and international system is needed to control the access to money, which only became effective with the rise of the computer age in the 1950s and 60s. The food industry is similar, although it required to displace the displacement of independent farmers so that only a handful of powerful global food industrial corporations could control man's supply of food. The supply of water has also been industrialized so that bond investors control municipal supplies of water in most places on Earth. There's still work on their part to be done, as they want to make illegal the ability to control one's own source of water. Even the spread of propaganda via news and entertainment requires an industrial approach, as people need various devices like TVs and smartphones to consume the content of the global reset agenda. The principles of industrial engineering, along with electrical and mechanical engineering, are at the core of this sub-project to make it easier for the children of Satan to control the minds and bodies of the world's population. This is no easy task. Satan and his human children tested out their readiness over 100 years ago with the combination of the First World War and the Spanish flu. The industrial foundation was nowhere near ready at that point, but the war did result in the Balfour Agreement, which put them on the path to reclaiming Jerusalem. They tried again with the Second World War, where we saw a giant leap forward in industrial technology in the 1940s that established the blueprint for the modern age under the early Beast system. But even that industrial advance was not enough to effectively control the whole world. More effective management and warehousing inventory processes were needed at scale to deliver the last leg of the Beast system. The rise of computer technology accelerated that process greatly, bringing with it some awesome advances in science. These are the topics of the remaining 2 videos in this series. Hopefully, you have a better appreciation of the massive scale of industry necessary to support the Beast system worldwide. The Beast system, along with its well-known mark, is not something that just pops up randomly overnight with a Santa Claus figure hopping from rooftop to rooftop stamping the mark of the beast on every human. It has taken centuries and centuries of planning and execution, along with a lot of trial and error. God has given Satan a sandbox within which to operate where he can't just drag his human children along without their consent. Mankind has to be willing to go along with the demonic kingdom in order to establish the industrial foundation Satan needs. We are witnessing the deadly cooperation right now in the 2020s. Perhaps you will join us in the remaining 2 videos to come, so be sure to subscribe so you can be notified when we upload them. Until those next videos, fellow believers, take care and stay true to the faith in these dark times. In Jesus Christ's name, amen.